Right, cash conversion cycle. Now, cash conversion cycle is an important metric which basically tries to measure in days the length of time between a firm paying cash to buy its inventory and then receiving cash from its clients or customers for the product which it sells. Okay, so it's a metric which is measured in days. So this is a very important metric for companies which are in the manufacturing sector, which are manufacturing a product to sell in the market. So the way it works is that the firm initially buys certain raw materials, and it most certainly, in most cases, buys the raw material on credit from its suppliers. Then it pays for the raw material it is finally bought. Okay, so it buys the raw material on credit, which becomes the inventory, and then the company pays for it, for this raw material, for the inventory, and this is the account payable. Okay, then the firm sells the product, okay, to the clients or the customers, and finally they generally sell it on credit, and finally the firm receives payments for the products which it has sold. So this is a very generalized process in which the raw materials a company buys is processed and the product is made, the product is sold to the client, and the client finally pays up for the product in cash, okay, at a later date. So in this entire process that you see here, this entire process which starts with the firm buying raw materials or inventory, as you may call it, on credit, and finally receiving payments for the final end product it is producing, where does cash come into the picture here? Well, this is the point. This is where the firm pays cash. So this is the first point where cash is actually leaving the company. Okay, so it's going out. Cash is going out at this point. And then finally, when the firm sells the product, it does not get the cash immediately, because it generally sells products on credit. Okay, and customers or clients pay for the products which they have bought at a later date. So it is at this point that the firm actually gets the cash back in. Okay, now if you see this entire process again, which part is the account payable? Well, of course, this part is the accounts payable, because this is where the firm itself is buying products and then paying it off at a later date. So whatever worth of product it buys is the accounts payable here, and this part is the account receivables, because it sells the products here and it gets the payments at a later date, and this part is the account receivables. This is what the is due to be paid to the firm by its clients or customers. Okay, so what cash conversion cycle is basically trying to measure is the length of the days between these two activities, where the cash goes out and the cash comes in, and hence it's called a cash conversion cycle. Okay, so the amount of time in days between cash going out of the company and cash coming in of the company into the company. Now this is the basic idea or concept behind cash conversion cycle. But how is cash conversion cycle actually calculated? Well, cash conversion cycle is calculated using this formula that you see at the bottom of your screen. It says account receivable days, also called DSO, the acronym is DSO, plus inventory days, also called DIO, or days of inventory outstanding. DSO is days sales outstanding, minus account payable days, or DPO, or days payable outstanding. Now this is the formula to calculate the cash conversion cycle of any given company. Now the obvious question that you will have is, what are these three terms? What is DSO, what is DIO, and what is DPO? In my next video, I will explain these three ratios, and hence you will get an understanding of how exactly cash conversion cycle of a company is calculated.